Right now, we're tracking severe weather tonight as a wintry mix moves through our area, and there's more accumulating snow on the way tomorrow.
And state troopers issue a warning for drivers as the freezing rain and snow make for a slippery commute.
Plus, the president says Iranian General Qasem Soleimani was planning 4 different strikes on U.S. embassies, which prompted the drone strike. We'll have more tonight from Washington.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We are seeing freezing rain and snow mixing, and that's making the roads rather slippery.
We have team coverage tonight. Adam Duxter is live in Newville with words of advice from state troopers. But we start with meteorologist Dana Fulton on the weather patio with what we're seeing now and how much more snow we can expect tomorrow. Dana?
Right now, of course, we do have snow back here on the patio, about 1.5 inches of accumulation so far this evening, and it's just going to continue for the next several hours. Overnight, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches expected around the Madison area. Freezing rain possible towards Janesville, and up to 1/4 inch possible. And that's going to lead to some very slick roads in the southeast corner of the state. The heavy snow returns for Saturday afternoon and evening. That's the main punch that we're keeping an eye on. It's really going to ramp up our accumulation totals for this event through the weekend. Winter storm warnings are in effect for most of the area. That's that bright pink color. The purple is the winter weather advisories. Those areas not expecting quite as much snow, but still going to be impacted with this winter weather sliding through. Again, about 1.5 inches back here on the patio in Madison right now. We're keeping a very close eye in Rock County, though, where we do have a wintry mix, a little solid rain, and a little snow all coming down. Quite a messy situation in Rock County right now. In fact, some counties or some small communities in Rock County have declared snow emergencies. Our reporter, Adam Duxter, is in Rock County right now with a better look at the current conditions. Adam?
Yeah, Dana, right now you could tell the rain is frozen because it hurts your face when you're standing out here in the weather like we are right now. But the good news is that the roads look good in terms of the interstate. We've seen traffic moving pretty steadily through here all night long. But the Wisconsin State Patrol does know that this is the first time a lot of Wisconsin residents have seen weather like this in a while, so tonight they are issuing a warning and a reminder to drivers making it through this wintry mix.
Friday afternoon around 1 o'clock, and roads could not be any clearer. But Trooper Kevin Kinnerman knows that can change very fast.
12 winters, driving conditions become hazardous really quick.
The State Patrol trooper says with a winter as dry as this one has been, it's important to remind others that conditions can still change on a dime.
As the snow starts falling, the roads become slippery. We always want to remember the bridge decks and overpasses become the first things to ice up.
Kinnerman says last year, winter weather accounted for 18,000 accidents, 3,600 injuries, and 45 deaths in Wisconsin alone. Tonight and this weekend, he and other troopers are out full force.
We can put these markers down during a snowstorm,
making sure the road stays safe, even as conditions do inevitably get worse. He says it's as easy as keeping an eye on what's around you.
You should always be aware of your surroundings, know what highway you're on, what mile marker you're by, any landmarks.
And when all else fails, to remember the golden rule.
We got a saying that snow means go slow.
And despite it just being this rain right now and not the snow, it is important to remember that this rain is freezing as it hits the ground. So even the ground here in this parking lot off of the interstate here in Newville is rather slick. And of course, you can check 511wi.com or call 511 before you leave to get to your destination to get the latest on the road conditions.
All right, Adam, thank you.
I think he's glad that live shot's over. Looking ahead, the city of Madison will declare a snow emergency once we reach 3 inches of snow. If you're outside the snow emergency zone, you'll have to follow alternate side parking rules. If you're within the emergency zone, that rule applies to you once the snow emergency is declared. Now, if there's nowhere for you to park, the city will open parking garages and lots for free during a snow emergency. City officials recommend you pay close attention to all parking signs. We have all those rules on our website, channel3000.com.
We have a running list on channel3000.com of closures and cancellations due to the snow. So far, Madison schools and MSCR have canceled all Saturday and Sunday programming, events, school meetings, and athletics. We will continue updating this list as any more closures come in. And a reminder that our free First Alert weather and traffic app has live radar and traffic to show how the snow will impact you wherever you may be.
Schools in Baraboo and Sauk Prairie are gearing up to test some students and staff for tuberculosis next week. Now, this comes after a person who had contact at the schools had a positive test come back. They also had negative tests and have not exhibited any symptoms, meaning they were likely not contagious, since tuberculosis only spreads while the person is symptomatic. The Sauk County Health Department said these tests, which will be at no cost, are out of an abundance of caution. They said it is a difficult disease to catch.
One of the analogies I like to use is that if you were on an airplane with somebody with active, symptomatic, coughing tuberculosis for 8 hours, we would test 2 rows in front of that person and 2 rows behind them. Nobody else on that plane would be tested in the initial phase of testing.
Sauk County Health Department said they had to contact about 50 people to let them know they might have been exposed to someone with TB. They said everyone who had even a slight risk has been contacted. Wisconsin now has its first pediatric flu death of this season. It was a child under the age of 10 who lived in the southeastern part of the state. The Department of Health Services tells us the child died on the way to the hospital. They had influenza B strain, which has been particularly problematic around the country this season. Experts say this season has been especially hard on young people and children. Usually flu season is at its worst in February here in Wisconsin.
Officers in Janesville are asking people in the area of Rockvale Mobile Home Park and Blackhawk Technical College to watch out for a man considered to be armed and dangerous. The suspect is wanted on drug charges. Law enforcement had to call off their search when it became too dark out. The man they are looking for is described as a black male who is 6'1" and 270 pounds. They're asking people to be vigilant and call 911 if they do see him. New at 10, Iranian state TV is citing a military statement saying the country unintentionally shot down a Ukrainian jetliner, killing all 176 people on board. The statement blames human error. Tonight, the president claims Iran's top general was planning to strike 4 U.S. embassies before he was killed by an American drone strike.
The members of Congress say that is the first time they've heard that. Paula Reed posed the tough questions today at the White House.
President Trump today revealed the most specific details yet about the imminent threats the U.S. said prompted the killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani.
I can reveal that I believe it would have been 4 embassies.
But just last night, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said the administration did not have precise information about the threat.
We don't know precisely when, and we don't know precisely where, but it was real.
Can you clarify, did you have specific information about an imminent threat, and did it have anything to do with our embassies?
We had specific information on an imminent threat, and those threat stream included attacks on U.S. embassies. Period. Full stop.
So you were mistaken when you said you didn't know precisely when and you didn't know precisely where?
Completely true. Those are completely consistent thoughts. I don't know exactly which minute. We don't know exactly which day it would have been executed, but it was very clear. Qasem Soleimani himself was plotting a broad, large-scale attack against American interests.
Multiple lawmakers tell CBS News that administration officials did not mention a specific threat to U.S. embassies in briefings for members of Congress this week.
The briefing was incredibly thin on facts.
CBS News has also learned that the administration did not disclose an attempt to target another top Iranian military leader. The U.S. military tried but failed to kill the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard in Yemen on the same day it killed Soleimani. The president said for the first time Friday that he will invoke executive privilege to prevent his former national security advisor John Bolton from participating in a likely Senate trial. Now, Bolton has said he's willing to participate. Democrats, they want to hear from him. So if he receives a subpoena, it will likely be up to the courts to decide if he gets to testify. Paula Reed, CBS News, the White House.
The Iowa caucus is just weeks away, and it may be shaping up to be a 4-way race among Democratic presidential hopefuls. That is according to a new CNN Des Moines Register Mediacom poll. The poll shows Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders leading the pack with 20% support among likely caucus goers. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is behind Sanders at 17% support. Former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg and former Vice President Joe Biden took the 3rd and 4th spots at 16% and 15% respectively. And another Democrat has dropped out of the race. Marianne Williamson ended her campaign today. The spiritual author says she doesn't want to pull votes from top contenders as states prepare for primaries, but she says the campaign helped her elevate her message of peace and humanity over economic prosperity across the nation. Williamson did not qualify for next week's Democratic presidential debate.
If you're looking for something to do while you're cooped up inside avoiding the snow this weekend and you're really bored, really bored, you could get a head start on your taxes. IRS Free File officially opens today for the 2020 season. Taxpayers whose adjusted gross income was $69,000 or less in 2019, they can do their taxes now, and the Free File provider will submit the return once the IRS officially opens the 2020 filing season, January 27th. The program offers free direct deposit on refunds to help you get your money more quickly. You can access it at the website there on your screen, irs.gov/Free File. Governor Tony Evers has approved a member of the Georgia National Guard to help Wisconsin sexual assault and misconduct survivors. Lieutenant Colonel Brian Bischoff will provide quarterly reports to the governor. Governor Evers created the Sexual Misconduct Ombudsman Program in December after federal investigators issued a report revealing multiple issues with the Wisconsin Guard's sexual misconduct reporting protocols.
One person was hospitalized in Milwaukee after a car smashed through a Dollar Tree store. Cell phone video captured the aftermath. A car reversed into the store, taking out the doors and tearing through displays. One person was trapped under shelving that toppled over. The driver stayed on scene, but it is unclear how this happened. Milwaukee police say the driver was not arrested and no citations were issued. The State Department of Natural Resources Board is set to order the agency to draft new water quality standards. The changes would mark the first time in a decade that regulators have amended the state standards. The move could force municipal and private water systems to spend tens of millions of dollars on additional testing and upgrades to pollution control equipment. A vote is scheduled for January 22nd.
Aim! Fire! Aim! Fire!
It happens far too often. A veteran passes away and there are no family or friends to attend the funeral. In Racine County, a group of fellow veterans showed up for a local soldier they didn't know who was being laid to rest. Julio Cacho Jr. served in the Army during Vietnam. He died at the age of 64.
We're looking at a loss of connection to family, but never a loss of the military family.
You served your country, and that's the best honor you can have, to have somebody come and be at your gravesite.
The attendees were part of a network of veterans who show up to fill the void when there's no next of kin. Mr. Cacho is buried at the Southern Wisconsin Veterans Memorial Cemetery in Union Grove.
The virtuoso drummer and lyricist for Rush has died. Neil Peart joined the band in 1974 and went on to sell millions of records with the group. Peart had been quietly battling brain cancer for 3.5 years. He was one of rock's greatest drummers. Bandmates Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson released a statement calling Peart their friend, soul brother, and bandmate for over 45 years and said he had been incredibly brave in his battle with cancer. Peart was 67 years old.
Next at 10, local snowmobile trails could be open very soon.
And waves at a popular Door County park are causing quite the spectacle, but also some erosion issues. Stay with us.
Boeing says it will not pay severance to its ousted CEO Dennis Muhlenberg, who was pushed out of his job because of the ongoing crisis with the Boeing 737 MAX. While he will not get severance, Muhlenberg will get to keep some of the stock he accumulated during his 3 decades as an executive there. Those holdings were worth $29.4 million as of Thursday's closing price. Tesla making history once again. Elon Musk's company is now the most valuable U.S. automaker ever. At last check, Tesla shares at a market value of $86.5 billion. That tops Ford Motor Company's record high of just over $76 billion for shares in 1999. The U.S. automaker still has a lot of ground to cover, though, to become the most valuable automaker in the world. Toyota's market value is about $228 billion. Volkswagen stands at $100 billion.
Packers fans are celebrating the start of a big playoff weekend in Green Bay.
Go Pack, go. We're going to win all the way. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. See you in Miami.
See you in Miami as the Packers prepare to host the Seahawks in the NFC Divisional Playoff game. Fans held a pep rally downtown. Packers president and Green Bay's mayor were there to lead the cheers of Go Pack Go. Kickoff is Sunday right around 5:40. Kevin Lewis will have a preview of the game coming up in sports.
New video now of the power of winter on display. This is at Cave Point County Park in Door County. The spray from these powerful waves frosted most of the shoreline, leaving a path of ice in its wake. And close to the main cave, there was another sign of the season. A blowhole signaled just how powerful the water can be. Park crews are monitoring erosion issues on the shoreline, warning visitors to be careful. And with the snow that's coming this weekend, local snowmobile trails may be opening soon. The Dane County Snowmobile Club said it is monitoring the weather and trail conditions to decide if it'll be safe to kick off the season. For trails to be open, there needs to be at least 6 inches of snow and steady below freezing temperatures. There are more than 500 miles of snowmobile trails in the county, and they've been brown all year. You do need a state trail pass to ride, but Dana's here to tell us they're a little slick right now, but they should be nice and white within the next 24 hours.
Yeah, the snow's coming down now, and it looks actually pretty to look at.
It's really nice outside if you like the snow. If you don't like the snow,
sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Winter's here, and it's going to be here for the next few days. Looking at our high-resolution Doppler, you can see the heavier snowfall right now actually passing through central Dane County, covering through Madison, coming down very steadily right now. We do have about 1.5 inches out on our patio, so the southern edge of Madison. Rock County right now, though, very messy. We have freezing rain, a little mixed precipitation just north of Janesville, and some snow, it looks like, on the western edge of Rock County. So we do have alert days in the forecast for tonight. The snow coming through is going to end up landing at about 1 to 3 inches around Madison, likely wrapping on up here after midnight. Freezing rain still the concern southeast of Madison and southeast of Dane County. For Saturday, heavy snow is going to develop again in the afternoon and evening. That round of snow will bring anywhere from 2 to 4 inches northwest of Madison, but 4 to 8 inches possible southeast, in some isolated areas could see just a little more than that. Sunday, though, we won't have any snow falling from the sky. It's going to be very cold outside, very windy, and it's going to be the cleanup day from these two events. So travel early Sunday morning likely going to be impacted. This is the same line bringing very strong thunderstorms to the deep south. A lot of wicked weather today in Missouri. For us, the snow has continued to march on through with mixed precipitation right now in the southeast. For Saturday morning, our first round of snow comes to an end. So if you do have any errands you have to run Saturday, I really recommend getting them done early in the day, because later in the afternoon, you really shouldn't be on the roads unless you're a snow plower or salt truck, because Saturday afternoon, the second round starts right back on up and is going to continue through the evening. So that break happens again early in the morning as our snow wraps up just after midnight. Looking at 6:30, we have a mostly cloudy sky, strong wind gusts possible for early in the day on Saturday. So blowing snow will be a concern, but we don't have anything falling from the sky. In the afternoon, that snow is going to pick up again around 2, 3 o'clock. The timing's bumped back just a little bit. And that's good news if you, again, do have early afternoon plans. But later in the evening, once the snow starts on up, we are expecting heavy snowfall coming down at times, and coupled with the wind, visibility is going to be reduced significantly during the evening. Once we get past midnight, though, the snow starts to taper on off. And for Sunday, we don't have anything coming down. It's just going to be cold and a little windy outside. That's the cleanup day again after this event. Sunday night, does look like our next opportunity for some flurries might move on in. So tonight, 1 to 3 inches for most of the area. Some isolated areas towards Grand County could see a little over 3 inches, where we've been seeing the snowfall for a little longer this evening. By the end of these two events, though, our totals for this weekend: north and west of Madison, 3 to 6 inches, southeast anywhere from 6 to 9 inches likely. These totals are just a little lower than where we've been for the last few days because we have had that freezing rain come on through in the last several hours. Winter storm warnings in effect for most of the area all the way through Sunday morning. That's along with those alert days that we have for Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures stay below freezing, so everything that does come down is going to stay with us. We're looking at a break in the snow on Sunday. For Monday, there'll be some flurries early on in the day. Tuesday and Wednesday, we may see some accumulating snow come on through again, but it looks like minor events, maybe an inch or two both days combined. And it's going to be a little cold for the end of the week, with temperatures dropping back to the teens for afternoon highs and single digits for those overnight lows.
And once you get the snow, it starts to kind of just become a big ice box around, keeping everything cold.
And when it gets that cold, it's that crunchy, hard-packed snow. So cleaning up on Sunday, a good idea before it does become an ice block.
All right. Thank you.
Seattle has fewer than 48 hours now to figure out a way to stop Aaron Jones in the Packers' rushing attack. We'll hear from both sides after the break.
Wisconsin wrestling head coach Chris Bono said he wishes they could take Paul Bunyan's axe with them to the dual meet and show it off a little bit. Not sure the football team would allow that, but a pretty good idea when you're facing Minnesota. 9th-ranked Badgers taking on the 4th-ranked Gophs in a duel. Brock Lesnar, WWE, UFC superstar, was an All-American at Minnesota, watching his alma mater jump out to a 17-0 lead. Owen Webster getting the overtime win for the home squad. 133 pounds, Wisconsin's Seth Gross, ranked number 1 in the country, gets the Badgers on the board with a 4-point near fall. And then the technical fall for some style points puts an end to the match. Gophs built a 20-8 lead. Evan Wick trying to chip away at 165 pounds, gets the takedown, but the Gophers edge Bucky 20-14, the final team score. Puck Nights, Wisconsin men's hockey hosting number 7 Ohio State, 1-0 visitors. Josh S. controls, and the wrister lights the lamp. We are all tied at 1 apiece, same score, 4-on-4. Gustav Westlund flips it on net, finds the back of it. Ohio State leads right now 3-2 in the 3rd period. The top-ranked Wisconsin women edged Bemidji State 3-2. Sophie Shirley scored her 20th goal of the season. Brett Pettit had the game winner for the Badgers, who improved to 21-1-1 overall this season. Game 2 tomorrow afternoon, just after 3 o'clock. Is it possible that Aaron Rodgers isn't even the most valuable Aaron on the Packers? Calm down, I know. Aaron Jones is giving him a run for his money, though, tied for the league lead with 19 total touchdowns. Green Bay's first 1,000-yard rusher since 2014. Jones said he's just trying to do his 111th within the offense. Said practice has been spirited this week. No worries of bad weather, getting off to a slow start following a bye, or knowing what's at stake against Seattle.
It's never too high, never too low. Same thing is up throughout the season, and I feel like that's something we've done really well at, and we played in playoff-type atmospheres down the stretch in the late stretch of the game. So I feel like it's something we're ready for, and I'm ready for as well.
It's not the Legion of Boom from a few years ago, but Seattle's still a top 10 defense. The Seahawks had 32 takeaways this season. They acquired former number 1 overall pick, defensive end Jadeveon Clowney, in a trade. And he sounded really excited to talk about trying to slow down the aforementioned Aaron Jones on Sunday.
He can do it all. He can run in between the tackles outside. He can catch the ball. He can just about do everything. We just got to rally and tackle him as a unit. Ain't going to be one guy. It's going to be everybody that's it's going to take to get him down. And he's going to be a big part of the game plan, I got to feel.
Somebody's pumped. Upset alerts in the Big Ten. Maryland at Iowa. Joe Wieskamp, catch, shoot, buckets. Had a game-high 26 points. And the Hawkeyes go inside to the big fellow, Luka Garza. He had 21 points, 13 boards. Doesn't have to be pretty, but he does it. Hawkeyes win 67-49, the final over the Terps. We are back after this.
Hawkeyes get their 2nd win in conference play, a much-needed
Another round of snow expected tomorrow, so just take it safe on the roads.
All right, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Do something good and have a great weekend.